Thank a lot for him. He still respect me after all I put him through. I'm just kidding. I ain't put him through nothing. He does an excellent job, and he burns DVD. He records in real time for the presenters, and alhamdulillah. And it's the circumstances. Abdullah, we grew up together. We were little guys, no higher than these chairs, sitting on the floor listening to Imam Mohammed and learning from him. And we've been so blessed. While he was speaking, I was thinking to myself, we have been so blessed. Allah is so merciful to have the leader and teacher that we had. Walking around amongst us. I could only imagine what it would have been like to be with Allah, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to be and live in his presence and to live at that time. But I would argue that if we knew what it was like, that we would say Imam Muhammad, there was no better example for us. And alhamdulillah. And what Abdullah Madyun, Allah supports us, is one like this is weak. Unreliable Muhammad taught us that. But together, we can make progress. And from Imam Muhammad, I don't have to give a khutbah. He talks about how the human being is created in the womb and comes as a congealed clot. The blood comes together and forms a clot, and then the life starts in the human being. That human being originally is a social creature. We're not going to get nothing alone. That's why I was telling y'all, and Abdullah, he's staunch imam, and he looks after the community and the believers like a good imam does, like they're his own family. Trying not to use no secular language, like his flock or preacher, whatever. But that's the way you have to be. Because Muslims, everything about our religion points towards that, for us to be unified and together and to work together. And what he was saying, speaking about the individual, we should always think of the connections. Imam Muhammad told us the connections, and I'm making connections. The Quran, the light in the Quran is so broad and so useful that if you open your mind and trust Allah, that when you ever hear somebody reciting the Quran, like he's reciting the Quran, explaining to verbatim, he's giving his own lecture and teaching, that there's so many things that you can relate to. And as he stepped down, I was listening to him on a personal level, but I also listen with more responsibility. I'm not just Lil Wallace. And I'll go back to Lil Wallace. Lil Wallace from 87th Street, the son of Imam W.D. Muhammad. I go back to that in a minute. I'm thinking about Wallace, the manager of Graceline, WDM Publications, the Mosque Cares, the properties, the charity, internet presence, social presence, my family, the properties that I manage, and just all these responsibilities that I have, being the person that's holding responsibilities of, I have a hard time putting it together in my head. Trying to walk in the shoes Imam Muhammad left for me as the president of the Mosque. So all of these issues are coming into my mind, and I said, you know what? I said, he's defining exactly my position. When you spoke about the last few things you were saying, I said, this is the issue that I have to walk very delicate with the imams and the leadership of this community, that they, from the top down, that they should do some soul searching and look at what is your issue with the ministry of Imam W.D. Muhammad. You can't have the ministry, you can't have the Imam Muhammad's ministry or his presence without his ministry, and I represent his ministry. So, and I haven't done anything to put anybody off or to make the imams think that, they thought they was going to run out ahead of me and put all these accusations and say, well, Wallace want this or Wallace want that. No, Wallace don't want nothing. Wallace don't even want to breathe the air you're breathing if I think you want it better than I do. You can have this air. I stand here and hold my breath as long as I can. I'll run outside and get some more air and come back in. You can have the air that I don't want none of that. And Abdullah, he was raised with me. He knows. So he know what he's dealing with. He know what we dealing with. And the envy and the issues that we have, those are issues that we can only take to Allah. We have to deal with them ourselves. but we're going to be patient because we love you. We love this community. We love the life that Allah has blessed us with. And, we own this place 24/7, Abdullah, 360 days or whatever, how many days in a year. And we got the keys. We own the keys. So whatever needs to be done, we going to get it done. And we tried to clean the place up, make it look nice and beautiful. I put the best of everything we could afford in here. And this is for us. And it doesn't cost us anything. Because Allah blessed us to have a leader, Imam W. Mohammed, with the foresight. Another issue. I'm a man. This is something that I shouldn't even be telling people about, because I don't allow people to drive me crazy. My personality is, my word is my bond. Ain't that right? We didn't grow up that way. If I said my word is bond, then I haven't to. If you said, man, you got to meet me, you gonna meet me tomorrow on so and so street. It could have been a fire, a hurricane, a tornado, 12 feet of snow. I'm gonna be there if I give you my word out of sincerity. And so I said, well, what can I do to speak to? I heard some youngsters was going to be in the audience today, and I'm going to speak to some youngsters because my sister asked me if I could say something. But I thought about it, and as Imam Madyun was speaking, talking about the young people and things like that, it's all about your approach. The approach is very important. And the issues that we have with the youngsters, the sisters and all of that, and you can put them off before you even think about helping them. In your heart, first you have to deal with that situation in your heart that causes you to say, to feel upset. Why you got to wait till you're upset to act? You see the wrong, you should act when y'all laughing and happy and having fun, and don't wait till you're upset to act on the wrong. So I said this, I say it often, but I'm not at the mic, but I say it all the time. We brothers can solve the problem with our young people and with our sisters. Sisters, by nature, want security. And it's in their nature to reproduce, just as strong as it is in our nature to reproduce. So they're going to be attracted to males, and it's their nature that's going to guide them. Society is going to govern, the environment is going to govern how they approach finding a mate or meeting a mate, but they ultimately going to find a mate, and they're going to produce children, and they're going to have a family. But the difference is that with a man, if he's not trained and taught, he's not going to accept the responsibility that comes along with that. The woman, by nature, knows the weight to the measure that a man couldn't even imagine of what responsibility comes along with that. If the men would take the time to devote and dedicate themselves to give up their personal life and do like everything else in nature, once it bonds and in nature, the two come together, the egg and the sperm, or whatever it is that causes that new life to come, it's a new life. You're no longer an individual. You're a husband, you're a male, you're a man with a responsibility, and your responsibility first is to provide what Allah wants and promises for all people, not just Muslims. It's peace and security in their life. And I don't have to, it's 100 connections. Whenever I think on the topic, immediately fly into my mind 100 circumstances that I can spend the rest of the day trying to validate or credibly validate what I'm saying and letting you know that it's true. That no society or no place has peace or has the ability to progress until there's a circumstance of peace. Human being is 98% water, whatever. You unplug a large source of water, it's going to flow. It's going to flow and flow until it finds ground, etc. Water dug out the Grand Canyon. Through limestone, rock, bedrock, everything, moved mountains. No society or two societies at war have ever advanced until they had peace. If you need food, if you need shelter, if you don't know if a wolf is going to come and eat your children tonight, how are you going to sit down and teach your children how to read and write and teach them to say their prayers? You got to have circumstances of peace and some security. You don't know where your meals are coming from. You don't know if the man that lives downstairs that smiles at you and greets you every day and tell you how beautiful you are and help you with your groceries in your house, if you're gonna wake up and he's standing over your bed one night. Sisters deal with this kind of stuff. They don't know if the man that act like he